Good afternoon, guys. Now, time for another episode of Making Hay with JRA. I am Lee Godbold. This is the Junk Removal Authority, coming to you every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 noon Eastern Time. The JRA is the junk removal industry's leading provider of marketing and consulting services. Please check us out at junkra.com. So, first thing I want to cover today. Y'all got to quit worrying about how much money you're making. And that sounds crazy to say, but you need to not worry so much about how much you're profiting and how much you're making on every single job. Now, you got to know that P&L. You got to know exactly how much you're making every single month, every single year, quarter, so on and so forth. Just wrapping up our taxes right now, and we're trying to figure out exactly what that number is from last year, and that would make the IRA and the S happy. But the other thing is, what I want to try and convince you guys of is too many people, they worry about, what am I going out and making when I just remove this couch? What am I making on this job that I go out and it's 5 truckloads? You know, what am I making when I go to this customer's home and I go to do the job I quoted and I don't get the job? And you get discouraged on the jobs you don't make a whole lot of money on, and you get way, way too excited on the jobs you make a lot of money on. You got to kind of meet in the middle. So you need to understand what your averages are. Your average job cost is one of the most important things for you to know. And it's amazing to me how many business owners do not know what their average job cost is. They'll take a guess, and I can guarantee you they're going to be off. So you really need to know that average job cost. You want to shoot, in most areas of the country, you'd like to be an over $300 average job cost. And some of you guys I know are at $250, $200, so on and so forth. You want at least a $300 average. The smaller jobs are great to have. Smaller jobs accomplish a few things. Number one, once you have a truck team going, it's a filler. So it's going to be a filler in between your larger jobs. You'd rather have that truck team out on a job site doing a small job than doing no work at all. Even if they don't make money, even if you lose money on that job, and there will be some jobs that you lose money on, even if you do the job, it's a minimum low charge. By the time you figure acquisition cost or whatever, you've lost money on that individual job. It's kept your guys busy. You've lost less money than if you just didn't have them do anything. And the last thing you want to do is cut your guys out in the middle of the day for a few hours and have them come back later to complete the next job. So one of the other things is when you do a small job for somebody, oftentimes that individual is going to use you again, and the next time it's going to be a lot larger. So you might remove a couch for a lady. You might have removed a couch for a lady a year ago, and you might have charged your minimum load. Maybe your minimum charge is $95. You charged $120, whatever it is. A year after you do that job, or 2 years after you do that job, that lady, she might be ready to move. And when she's ready to move, she's going to call the company that came out and did her couch. You made no money at all on that couch pickup. If y'all charging $95 for couch pickup, you ain't making money. You think you are, but you ain't. By the time you account for all of your expenses. But all of a sudden, the next job you get, this lady's been in her house for 20 years, 30 years. She's downsizing. She's going from a 4,000 square foot monstrosity. She's a widow. She's got no family. Her kids have moved out. Her husband's passed away. She's going from 4,000 square foot. She's moving down to a 1,000 square foot apartment. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of kids' toys, a lot of furniture, a lot of memories, a lot of things that are not going to fit in that small apartment. She's got to get rid of. And she's going to hire you to take it. That job right there, that could be a $1,500 job. It might be 3 truckloads or more. You would never have gotten it had you not done the couch pickup. So some of you guys say, I ain't going to leave my house if I can't go out and get at least $150 or $200. I ain't going to leave my house. The problem is you're not thinking about the lifetime value of the customer and the money that's going to be coming later. Other advantages to these small jobs. It keeps your trucks rolling. You got a moving billboard. More and more people are going to see your vehicle. So that's another great advantage on keeping those trucks rolling down the road. So I want to make clear to you, this is an advantage when you actually have employees. I would, myself, nowadays, I would hate to go out and go spend 2 hours of my time removing a couch and not make money right then and there. I used to do it. We used to do it. But I wouldn't really want to. But we can send employees out to do the same thing. I don't mind employees going out there, and the employee's getting paid. I don't mind paying the employee to go out and take care of this customer and the company earn no money at all. if it was me, if it was my time, I'd hate to do it. But it's the fact I'm paying somebody else to do it, it's not as big of a deal. And that's allowing us to get more of these smaller jobs done, which is going to allow us to build and have these customers come back and use us again and again, get seat on the road, and just build an extremely profitable business. Each and every year, we're still scaling, guys. We're still growing in both gross revenue as well as profitability percentages. A lot of that comes from all these small jobs we've done along the way. I want to shift over into, we got any questions before I shift? So get out a pen and paper or something here, or just take these notes down. Those of you new to the business, one of the questions we get all the time is, what kind of tools should we have on the truck? Now, a couple things to keep in mind. You're going to get a lot of these tools from your junk removal jobs. I would go ahead and have before you do your first fully stocked job, if you've got some money saved up, buy everything you need. Be fully stocked. Be fully prepared for that very first job. Don't show up unprepared to a job because you don't want to spend money on tools because you're waiting to get them from your jobs. But just do know that you buy them one time, and then a lot of times if you keep your eye open and you hold on to the tools that you do encounter in the jobs, a lot of times you don't have to buy tools very often at all. So, snow shovel. People that are new to junk removal find it crazy that I say you should have a snow shovel. A snow shovel makes a fantastic dustpan. Lowe's sells them. You can buy metal ones on Amazon. Lowe's sells them. I'm not going to actually go to Lowe's, but Lowe's sells them, and it's like a really, really hard plastic, and then it's got the handles are really, really hard plastic. They're light, but I tell you what, the things are daggone robust. There's every bit as tough as a metal snow shovel with a wooden handle, if not more so. Snow shovels make awesome dust pans. You're going to want to use them a lot. And large house clean-out jobs and hoarding jobs, you take those snow shovels and you can rake everything into one corner of the house, and you can just be scooping stuff off all the floor and putting them in trash cans. So, by the way, the other thing you're going to need, if you have the room, you're not always going to have the room for this, but if you have the room, get you a metal trash can, or one that rolls potentially, but you don't even have to have one that rolls because you're not going to ever always be able to use that inside the home. But get you one of the metal trash cans that have the lids, the metal lid that maybe goes down on top of it. You don't ever need to use that lid really, but you'll use those on large clean-out jobs. Take that inside, load up that trash can, and then you're going to take it out to your truck and you're going to dump it in your truck. What a lot of people do is they use trash bags. They use their trash bags to load that stuff up. You got to remember, a good high quality trash bag is going to cost you 50 cents, 75 cents, or 25 cents a bag. You're going to increase the cost of that job a lot for you, and you're going to reduce the likelihood you're actually going to get the bid if you're passing that on to the customer, because somebody else might be using that trash can. You're going to want a rake. That way you can clean up stuff outside. A square shovel, a push broom. You guys should be sweeping up at the end of every job. That it's the small things in this business is what counts. Everybody expects when they hire you that you're going to come out there and you're going to remove their junk. They expect you're not going to damage their property. What they don't always expect is you to pick up the small stuff, to sweep out a garage. If you haul away stuff from one quarter of the garage, go ahead and sweep out the entire garage. If it's a 2-car garage and you're only on one side, in addition to sweeping out the side you were, which a lot of people don't even sweep out the side you were in, go ahead and finish sweeping out that entire garage. Make that thing look spick and span. Over-deliver that customer, and they're going to overdo their part as far as reusing you and referring you. You're going to want a sledgehammer, a full socket set with Allen wrenches. Allen wrenches are going to be the most common tools that you use to disassemble things. Desk, beds, lots of furniture are held together by Allen screws or hex screws. You're going to want a full set of both metric and standard hex screws or Allen wrenches. You want an electric drill, battery powered, works great. You want a flashlight, wasp spray. You guys are going to be, this time of year, you're going to be getting in that yellow jackets. You're going to be getting into wasp and hornets, so on and so forth, bees. You're going to want some spray to help prevent that. Gloves, you want a first aid kit. You want a 50-foot extension cord, a shoulder dolly. If you guys aren't familiar with what shoulder dollies are, I'll pull it up on the screen here. A shoulder dolly is a harness that you and another individual wear that has a strap that goes in between. You guys might have seen the forearm forklifts. This is the daddy of the forearm forklifts. This thing here, whereas the forearm forklifts, you're still using your forearms. That's the reason it's called a forearm forklift, to lift the stuff up. This thing is actually allowing you to use your whole body to lift it, and it also encourages you to use your body properly. This is going to reduce injuries if you guys know how to use this thing. It does stairs. The forearm forklift struggles a bit with stairs. This right here will do stairs as long as you adjust the strap properly. Great tool to use. You're going to use it for heavy furniture pieces, rear projection screen TVs. You guys probably have the strength to lift them, but those rear projection screen TVs just dig down into your hands. This takes grip out of the equation. You use your body to lift everything. Great tool to have. Also looks extremely professional with customers. Sawzall. Every good junk removal company is going to have a Sawzall and have you metal, wood, and demolition blades. That's going to allow you to, like trampolines, instead of taking apart a trampoline, cut the dude in 3 minutes, you can have that thing cut into pieces, compared to taking 15 minutes to unbolt it, all the rusty bolts and all so on and so forth. Take that Sawzall, cut right through it. Get a corded Sawzall. For a long time, we used cordless Sawzalls. The batteries don't last very long, so you'll need like 4 or 5 batteries. If you're gonna, like a hot tub, you might go through 3 batteries on a hot tub. And once you have employees, you're gonna be losing batteries left and right. Those batteries are like $90 a piece. Maybe they've come down. I think you'd actually get a 2-pack now for $90. So, but still, just go. It's a less expensive tool. Go with the corded Sawzall. Have your 50-foot extension cord. You might want to have a backup cordless in case you're doing a job for an area that doesn't have power, or you bring a generator on job site to do it if it's a big Sawzall job. But hot tubs, play sets, trampolines, hell, large furniture that took 4 people to move into a house. Maybe you can break it down with a Sawzall and carry it out with 2. So very great tool. We have removed a couch. We have cut a couch into sections before with a Sawzall. Somebody had brought the thing upstairs into a loft area. They then changed they changed the room. They added in a couple walls and changed a few things around. It was physically impossible to get that couch out that way. The homeowner was going to do it on their own. They're like, we can't get the thing out. So they called in the professionals. We took a look and we just took a Sawzall. We cut that thing up into pieces, carried it on out, and finished the job up. A Sawzall's a great tool. An appliance dolly. Now, guys, on an appliance dolly, not a regular hand cart. An appliance dolly actually has the straps. You can use a hand cart too, but an appliance dolly to move refrigerators, washers, dryers, so on and so forth. You're able to ratchet strap that stuff down to keep it from moving. An appliance dolly is a fantastic tool to have. Here's the key. Anytime you're using any dollies inside a home, you need to have rubber wheels, soft rubber wheels, not hard. Do not have hard wheels or you're going to scratch up floors. And those rubber wheels, they need to be clean. You can't have any debris. Like, you even need to wipe them down. If you're going to be operating on hardwood floors, those things need to be super clean. They can't have dirt, gravel, grit within those tires, or you're going to scratch up some hardwood floors. Those are the tools you need to run a proper junk removal business. Hey, if you guys have any other recommendations, post them in the comments. Let's talk about them. Tell me if I'm missing something you guys have used in the past that helps you out a lot. We got any questions or anything, Aaron?
Yeah, we've got one question from Juan on YouTube, and he asks, do you need a state contractor license or is a local business license sufficient enough?
Generally, a local business license is going to be fine. Contractor license is going to be more for a demolition job. And even on demolition jobs, you normally can do shed demolitions and deck demolitions and stuff like that without a contractor license. There's normally going to be a threshold. Like in North Carolina, if you do a job that exceeds $30,000, then you have to have a contractor's license to do that job. Your state, it varies state by state. Some states are 100,000, some states are 10,000. California's got something weird going on there. I can't remember their threshold, but I know they've got something interesting. So you need to research when you're required to have a contractor's license. You normally aren't for junk removal, or you're never for junk removal. Okay, so guys, the JRA Call Center, we got it pulled up right here. It is now, we've been doing it on a kind of a reduced basis for basically people that have purchased our call center. It is up and running now fully. We are accepting new customers. Our JRA Call Center is it runs from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, 8 to 8 on Saturday, and you do have the option for Sundays for an additional cost. We charge per job booked, so you're only getting charged for results. There's an access fee, then a per job booked. We can take calls just when you miss them, or we can take every single one of your phone calls. Get freedom back in your life, be able to spend time with your kids, with your wife, with your girlfriend, be able to go out to lunch with your phone without your phone ringing like crazy. Guys, I have done this for 5 years. I took the majority of Junk Doctor's phone calls. I'd answer them at 9 p.m. I'd answer them at dinner. I'd answer them at lunch. There were some lunches I never got a chance to eat. I'd have a half-hour lunch, and I spend a half hour on the phone. I grab my food, and I just kind of hit the road. This right here, this one service right here, could be one of the most convenient services that we offer. Please call us and check it out. It's junkra.com, 919-617-1975. That's the JRA Call Center. We are ramping up. We're hiring call center reps. We're moving into a larger building, which is going to allow us to expand that out a lot more. The franchises enjoy the call center. Now you have the opportunity to as well. All right. One of the biggest mistakes we've made with junk doctors in years past, up until now, we are actively fixing this problem now. We didn't think we had the issue, but we did. It involves trucks. We did not add trucks quickly enough. And what happens is when we try and run all these trucks at full capacity. Full capacity for us, depending on the size of the job, is anywhere from 5 to 9 jobs a day. We regularly schedule 5 jobs a day for each truck. Here's what occurs. There's going to be a point where you're going to have some really, really large jobs. You'd love to be having more trucks and more crews running out there. Your guys doing those really long hours, they tell you they like them, and they like them for a while. As soon as that 90-degree heat starts beating down on them, or 100-degree heat, or whatever it is, starts beating down on them day after day, as soon as they get real busy and they're working 5-6 days in a row, week after week, they get tired. And the problem is they don't let you know they're getting tired. They just quit. So they get discouraged, and they forget about the times where they like the job and they quit. And then you're going to miss out on same day appointments. This time of year, those are huge. You got people moving, guys. Just yesterday, we had 2 people scheduled that are selling a house today. They had to have the stuff out by 3 o'clock this afternoon. That was the time of closing. We could make it happen. We had enough trucks, but we still need more. So I really want to encourage each and every one of you to buy new trucks if at all possible, and to get more of them before you really need them. Though you can do 5 jobs in a day or 7 or 9 jobs in a day. Don't force yourself and your people to do that. Try and limit them to around 3 or 4 jobs a day, and then that way they're having an 8-9 hour day, a normal hour day, instead of a 12, 15, 19 hour, or not 19, but 12, 15, 17 hour day. And you're going to have a lot higher employer morale. You're going to get more done. You're going to ultimately make more money. That does mean you got to get your prices up so you can afford those additional truck payments, but you're also going to be paying less in overtime, and your employees are likely going to be happier, as well as they're going to have more energy, so they're actually going to be able to move quicker. I think they're going to be a lot more efficient when you have multiple trucks and they're not getting overworked. They might work quickly on those first couple jobs through the day. Their speed slows down throughout the afternoon. Or maybe they work slow the entire day because they know that by working slow the entire day, maybe they're not going to take an additional job at the end of the day. They're already getting enough hours, so they're not hungry for more hours. So and also you're going to have more employees. They're going to feel like if you staff up, you're going to have more employees, which is going to mean it's going to be more competitive. They got to do a really good job, or they're going to get cut. So get more trucks, get more people. Always be hiring. Always be looking for trucks. Look for new vehicles as soon as you can. Get new vehicles so you have that reliability, and it's a great presentation to your customers, and your employees enjoy riding around in new vehicles more than they do used. Any questions for the next one?
Yeah, we've got one from, from Emilio on YouTube. Do you know of any software to manage dumpster rentals to make sure they're dropped off and picked up on time?
I'm not a dumpster rental expert, but I know there's quite a few software programs out there. I tell you what, I'll make a note here. We will post in the comments on this. I've got a friend that runs a very successful dumpster company and owns a couple landfills as well. I will check with her and see what software they're using. We'll post it in the comments. So just kind of keep an eye on that. I'll try and get that to you today in the comment section. Anything else? Okay. One of the things that I just talked about was getting more trucks and getting more people. On the getting more people end of things, we are in an employee job market, which means it used to be it was an employer job market when we first started. We were able to put an ad out on Craigslist back in the day. Now it's Indeed. And then we would wait for an application to come in. Once the application came in, we'd shoot off a few questions. We'd actually review the resume. We'd shoot off a few questions for them to answer. We would then review the questions. If the questions look good, we would look to set up an interview at a time convenient for us a couple days in the future. You cannot do that anymore, guys. Guys, you have got to be super aggressive if you're going to hire now. What we're doing now, And we just started this weeks ago. Just a few weeks ago, we started this process. I'm not going to give all the details on exactly how it works, but here's what happens. As soon as we get somebody responds with Indeed, I have a lady. She's part of our call center, but she's keeping an eye on resumes coming in. As soon as it comes in, she's on the phone. She's got a couple questions she's asking. If they sound good, it immediately gets referred over to Christian for a phone interview that very same day, within an hour, hopefully. Christian's doing that phone call. He's asking them a few questions. If those questions check out, they are actually given a tentative job offer over the phone within probably an hour and a half of them actually applying. Contingent to that, they pass a background check, that the references check out, and that they show up for an in-person interview and it goes well. But they're given a tentative job offer. As long as they can execute those three things, they've got a job. And then we get them started as soon as possible. If we can get them on the truck, get the paperwork done, get them on that truck within 2 days or the next day or 2 days, we're doing it. You got to be really, really aggressive now. Otherwise, somebody else is going to beat you to the punch. That's the only way you're going to hire team members at this point. You want to be selective in who you hire, but you got to put some work into it now. It used to be you'd let them do all the work. Now you have to put in the work. You got to be aggressive to land employees. Anything?
Actually, the question was from Jonathan on Facebook, and it was, "What's the best way to hire good workers?"
I think I answered that. Was it Jonathan? Was it Jonathan Smith? Or somebody
No,
else?
Jonathan Mendoza.
Okay, great.
The
Awesome.
Yarda?
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, Jonathan, I think great minds think alike there. That should be your answer that you're looking for. Okay, truck GPS and camera systems. We encourage each and every one of you to have a camera system, and definitely a GPS system, but a camera system on your truck. Now, here's the issue. We have yet to find a good camera system. The one we're using is from a company called Safety Track. The camera itself is not bad. It actually has live view as well. If you're going to get cameras, you might as well have live view. Going out and having to pick out those cards all the time is a pain in the butt. Safety Track is the company that we're using for these camera systems. I'm not crazy about them. That's who we're using. We have cameras on, I think, 5 or 6 of our 10 trucks. Cameras themselves are decent. The audio is pretty poor. The cameras do have a built-in GPS, but go ahead and get a separate GPS tracker because it's not always extremely accurate. And what you want in your GPS system, you want to see it where it shows you when ignition comes on, when ignition goes off, what address they're at. And they make GPS stuff. The initial GPS systems we got updated like every 5 minutes. They have some now, real time, and they're not all that expensive. That'll show you an entire route that's getting run. Definitely have you a GPS system on all your trucks, and start it right now. Don't wait until you have 8 or 10 trucks, because these camera systems, they're going to cost you $1,500, $2,000 to get them installed. By the time you purchase the equipment and get them installed, go ahead and do them right from the point you purchase the truck. That way, you get to 10 trucks, and it's like, damn, I got to spend $15,000 to put cameras in all these trucks, or $20,000, whatever it is. Now, police dash cams. What is the name of those things? Police dash cams. There is a company, and I can't remember what the name of it is, that makes dash cams for police officers and all. It's like a $3,500 system. If you guys can swing it, those things are incredible. We haven't spent the money. Again, we got all these trucks that have to get done all at once. So, we decided not to spend the money at that point because, when we did 5 trucks, that'd have been some crazy, over $20,000 for 5 trucks. Get you that information. That way, once you have employees, you can be there when you're not there. Got any questions?
Yeah, we got one in from Juan on Facebook, and he asks, "Can you write off new truck purchases and gas?"
Yeah, so new truck purchases are going to be generally it's going to be it's depreciated. They're depreciated now. Depending on the IRS tax code in any given year, oftentimes you can do what's called a Section 179 depreciation. Section 179 allows you to write off equipment, vehicles, so on and so forth, all in the same year. You normally can, in years past, it's been a $250,000 threshold. So we've been able to go out. This is a neat tax trick. We might have had a year with junk doctors. We profited, say, a couple $100,000. This was a few years back. Profited a couple $100,000. We went out there and we purchased 3 trucks. And then we had, actually it was in between dump trucks we bought and pickup trucks. Some of them were used, all of them weren't new. But I think in that year we had maybe 125, 150,000. There's a Bobcat in there. It was like 150,000 or almost 200, close to $200,000 worth of equipment we purchased. We financed that equipment, but you're able to claim the full amount. So you might have only put, of that $150,000, maybe you only put $15,000 down or something like that. So, you put $15,000 down, but you're able to write off $150,000. So if you got, let's say you profit in a year $50,000 and you go out and buy a brand new dump truck, and let's say you put no money down, you can get dump trucks no money down. You put absolutely no money down on it. You make your monthly payment. That truck is earning you income, and all of a sudden, instead of having to pay $7,500 on tax on that $50,000, you pay nothing, absolutely nothing. Section 179 depreciation. Check it out. Hey, tax day's this coming Monday. So this is a very good question to cover right there. Section 179 depreciation. You could, guys, right now, I'm sorry, it's April, not December. But keep in mind, that thing, to do 179 depreciation, you only have to put that vehicle in service or that piece of equipment in service for 1 day. If you go out on December 31st or December 30th and you purchase a truck, and that truck runs December 31st on the road, you've taken delivery of it, you write it off for the entire year. So a lot of you guys, even though you might not need a vehicle this year, hopefully you're growing, hopefully you're advertising we're going to need a vehicle next year. Go out and buy that sucker on December 30th. You've only had to pay it once that entire year. You put no money down, you finance the sucker, and you don't have to pay the IRS anything. This is a big trick for corporations. When Trump got in office, one of the things he signed into law, and I don't think it was just Trump, he just happened to be the president when it happened, but private jet purchases, you can actually write off an entire airplane or private jet, the full expense in 1 year. So you got guys going out there that let's say they made $10 million in a year. On that $10 million, they might have had to pay $5 million in taxes. Instead, what they're going out there is they're purchasing a $10 million jet, they're putting $3 million down, and they're not having to pay the IRS any money at all. So you get a jet, instead of paying taxes, you get a jet, and you spend less money. Now, you got to make that monthly payment, but you got to look into all those tax loopholes too, because when you find legal tax loopholes, that's going to allow you to really become successful and kind of get ahead. And they're perfectly legal. You just got to identify them. The problem is they're not available. If you're out there making $50,000 a year, they're not available to you. That 179 is, but the real good stuff comes when you start making more and more money. Anything else? All right, guys. Well, this has been another episode of Making Hay with JRA. Please comment. Let us know how you like the new format, covering more things in a shorter period of time. And if you've got any questions at all, you can respond in these comment sections. We will address them either by directly responding to your question, or we'll get to them on Tuesday's episode next week. We always want input on what kind of content you'd like us to cover in these episodes. Again, Tuesday and Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time. If you got any questions at all, post them below. Tune in at that time, so we're going to answer them and help you really grow and expand or get into the junk removal business. Junk Removal Authority provides high quality Facebook commercials, search engine optimization, Google Ads management, and we've got that great call center, all exclusively for the junk removal industry. No other company out there manages more Google Ads campaigns or does more SEO for more junk removal companies than JRA. We're going to get your ranking up, and the main thing is we're going to get your bank account up. 919-617-1975, junkra.com. I am Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority, and this has been Making Hay with JRA.